Three, two, one. How's it going, losers? We're doing some Pokemon today. So I've been doing a lot of Pokemon recently. A couple of bits at work, a couple of bits at home, and I thought it's about time to review some of my favorites. So it's favorite Pokemon time. So we're gonna go through Generation 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and each of the types. A couple of rules. I try not to pick legendaries or starters, just because they feel a bit cheap, unless they are categorically my favorite. Starters, not so much, but legendaries, they're overloved. I have different metrics for different favorites, so it's not going to be consistent. There's going to be flaws. Sometimes I'm going to love it for one reason, sometimes I'm going to love it for a different reason. Grow up and deal with it. So we'll just start off. So, cool. Let's start off tile one. We're going to pick favorite normal type from Gen 1. So what have we got? Okay, but everyone loves the Pidgeot line. Honestly, I think it's overrated. Shoot me. Everyone's going to hate it. And honestly, some of the other normal types, a bit of a letdown. It was Generation 1, so they couldn't go too crazy. Problem I find with normal types is they are just too normal, you know? They're too plain. They got nothing exciting about them. Some of them shouldn't be normal types. Some of them, I think, got a later fairy type later down the line. Like, I think Jigglypuff became a normal fairy because I'm good. Yeah, Jigglypuff and Wigglytuff became normal fairy types, but some of them just need another type. So, okay, what have we got? Lickitung's great. Chansey's got so much bulk. Kangaskhan's objectively really cool. I think I have to pick Snorlax. Hang on, can I see the mouse? Anyway, yeah, so we'll do normal types. I think I'm gonna have to do Snorlax, because Snorlax is just rad, right? Like, you get him in the first game, he's an obstacle that you can only catch like 2 or 3 of. You need the Pokeflute, and Snorlax is great, honestly. Such a beast, man. Cool, let's go to fire types. Oh, this is tough. This is tough, because there's some good fire types here. Everyone loves Charizard. It's undeniable that Pokemon themselves love Charizard more than any other Pokemon. I think actually, fun fact, I think Charizard is actually more known than Pikachu is. For me, he's okay. He's just kind of like overhyped, honestly. And that is a tough pick, because I do love Ninetales. I think I love the Alola Ninetales more than I do the regular one, just because of the color variation and the typing. Like, Ice Fairy is really cool. Rapidash. Rapidash is okay. It's kind of just like a horse, you know? There's a lot of horse and bird Pokemon. Moltres is cool. I think I'm gonna have to go Arcanine. Arcanine's just like, everyone loves having an Arcanine and everyone wants one. And it, honestly, would be the best pet to have in real life. Just a massive dog. Cool, right, water types. What are we gonna pick for this? Oh, there are some good water types. Blastoise used to be my favourite when I was younger. Used to be my favourite starter. I used to be obsessed with him, but I've moved away from him now. You know, he's okay. Okay, we got Gyarados, we got Starmie, we got Cloyster, we got Lapras, we got Vaporeon, we got Omastar. These are all listing just all my favourites. Okay, so we've got some things to work with, because we've got, so obviously, like, you know, Tentacles, water poison. Slowbro is water psychic. We got water ice, another water ice, water flying, another water. Like, so we could actually, in fact, get a few of these, squeeze a few of these into the other picks, depending on what we've got. So, okay, let's take it point by point. I'm gonna have to go for my favorite water type. I think I'm gonna have to go Starmie. We can change it back. We can use Starmie later if we want, but for now, it's gonna have to be Starmie. Love Starmie. So quick as well. Oh, man. The beast that is Venusaur. Like, we have to go Venusaur, right? Next one is electric types. Again, not going to give more. Pikachu's had too much love. Somebody else needs the spotlight. I have to go Electrode. I think Electrode is described as like the bomb Pokemon, because he's super quick and he knows Explode. And that's it. He's the nuke. There's a pretty good lineup so far. Honestly, I'm not upset with any of my picks. Ooh, Lapras and Cloyster. Everyone loves a Lapras, but I think I have to go Cloyster. He's just more bulk, and I've come to appreciate him over time. Right, what about fighting? Yeah, fighting stuff. You got Annihilate, you got Poliwrath, you got Machamp, you got the Hitmonlee and Hitmonchan. I mean, objectively, I think we have to go for Machamp because he's got 4 arms. Like, what gets cooler than that? Ooh, we've got a lot of poison types we could pick from. I'm being drawn to Nidoking. I mean, we don't want dupes. That's another rule I've got to mention. No dupes. So we couldn't have Venusaur here because we've got Venusaur and Grass. Sometimes I'm ranking them on what they're better, if they're a good favourite of that type. So, for example, Venusaur, is it my favourite grass type or is it my favourite poison type? Like, what is it? What vibe does it give off? All of this is a subject. This is also this is all my personal opinion, so none of it's gonna make sense. But I think I'm gonna have to go Nidoking because, like, he's a badass, right? Ground poison, such a good typing, so cool. Plus Giovanni has it. I mean, need I say less? Need I? King? We'll move on. I gotta go Sandslash. My favorite animal in real life is a pangolin, and it's modeled off a pangolin, so we have to. Flying types. Nice. Okay, so here we can bring out the Gyarados because we couldn't have him for water types. Then we've got Aerodactyl and Scyther. Ooh. No, we'll go Gyarados. He does take it. Wonderful. So Psychic types next. Okay, we've done Starmie, so we don't need to do that. Did we give it to Alakazam? Surely no, right? Like, all the rest of them are kind of mid. Don't like Jinx. Mr. Mime's okay. Anyway, we're going to go for Mr. Spoons. Bug types. Scyther. Yeah, we're going to bring Scyther out, man. We didn't get him on the flying. We get him on the bug. This is what I mean. Like, we can get different mons for different areas. So, who do we want for rock? Aerodactyl and Omastar. I've got to appreciate Omastar more. I used to really dislike him. This is a common theme, actually, of really disliking them when I was younger, and then growing up and getting over it, you know. Right, ghost types. It's got to be Gengar. Not wearing my Gengar hat. Bear with. Oh my god. Do that. Hey, look at this. Look at this. So yeah, I have to go Gengar. Gengar's awesome. He's super quick. Oh, let me just, oh, no, this side more. In the green screen border. Gengar's sick. He's quick. He's a great ghost type. He has amazing movesets, and he's, competitively viable, and he's just cool. Like, look at that cheeky little grin. Plus, I got a hat. I get so many compliments on this hat, so I feel like I have to, it's all because of Gengar, you know, I have to give him this. Going with dragon types, I don't like that Dratini, Dragonair are both blue, and then Dragonite becomes orange. Like, I prefer if they were both orange or both blue. Like, imagine a blue Dragonite. That would be rad. Or even like an orange Dratini. But yeah, I gotta go Dragonite. Dragonair would be cool. I think the whole line's pretty cool. But it kind of doesn't really make sense. It's almost like they've somebody else designed Dragonite. Because look, you got wings on his head, and then you've got the little horn, and then he just doesn't have that. Anyway, Dragonite's cool. We'll keep him. For Dark, there was no Generation 1 Dark, Steel, Fairy types. So a few Pokemon got updated later to have Steel and Fairy types, like Jigglypuff. So they are here, but there is categorically no Dark types. No Pokemon that get an updated Dark type either. So we've obviously got Classic, Missing No. We've got the Ghost. This says the Missing No Ghost, but I think it's the Ghost that comes. So when you go to the tower, God, I can't remember his name. The tower with the ghosts, and then you have to get the Sylph Scope to see what the ghosts are, and it's a bunch of Kubones, Haunters, Marowaks. Really cool plotline. Missing no Aerodactyl fossils. Oh, that's cool. They got the fossils. That's rad. We're gonna go Substitute Doll. It's rad. It's cool. This is the only thing I think it's actually in the game. I don't think these are in the game. Maybe Missing No was. I don't know if it's an urban myth or not. Comment down below if you've seen it. If you've seen it in the wild. Moving on to Steel types, we gotta go nice and easy choice. Go Magneton. I mean, I like Magnemite, and it's just Magnemite thrice. So, win-win. Fairy types, ugh. I don't. Now, something that annoys me is Pokemon really let the fairy types down, because when they were introduced, they were combating dragon types, so most of the legendaries or pseudo legendaries, and fairies were so strong. They basically like knocked dragons down a peg. Because I think before fairies, dragons dominated the competitive scene, and fairies drastically changed that. But the designs just blow. Like they're so bad. Most of them are bad. Some of them are really cool, but most of them are pretty bad. And this does actually segue onto another category of Pokemon that isn't actually part of my favorites, but is a category of Pokemon that I think is universal throughout all of the Pokedex. And the category of how easy is it to kick? You know, or as I like to call it, how puntable is it? I hope that doesn't puntable. I should stop saying that. Jigglypuff, high on that list. Like, that's ball shaped. You know? Like you could absolutely welly that thing so far, miles. It looks light as well. Clefairy kind of comes into that category, but it's a bit less ball shaped. But I think for that reason, Jigglypuff kind of gets it. It's the OG kickable Pokemon. You could just send it really far. I think you would enjoy it as well. You'd just be like happy. Nice. Okay, so we are now onto the starter section. Now, again, I don't want to give Charizard more love. I actually think I'm going to go Wartortle. Blastoise is cool, but I like that Wartortle reminds me of if you ever played Super Mario 64, Mario gets the wing cap. So sick, so sick. And then we've got two more left. We've got the gimmick form, which is all of the Megas, the G Max, the whatever Max. For this, there are so many good options, but my favorite is Mega Beedrill. I love it when the Pokemon designs have like lances or like dual wielding weapons. Whew. Chef's kiss. And finally, we are on to the legendaries of Gen 1, and it's got to go to Mewtwo. Mewtwo's dope. We're going to leave this favourite column for the end, just because they're sort of the favourite of the row and the column at the bottom. So we'll leave that as it is. So this is the Gen 1 selection. Do I want to review any? There was water that was a bit tough on, or is that... No, I think that's fine. Yeah, you know what? Actually, what I might do, I might put Lapras here and swap Alakazam for Starmie. Because I love Alakazam, but again, I feel like he's an always pick. Starmie needs a bit of love. What other water types were there? I think that was it. Because we got him. An honourable mention, I do love Vaporeon, but the creepypasta ruined it for me. Don't look it up. But yeah, I think I'm happy with this. I don't want to change anything. Yeah, I think that's it for Gen 1. I think we'll move on to Gen 2. Let's transition. It'll be cooler in the edit, don't worry. Right. Gen 2 null types. Now, I'm going to say something controversial here. Gen 2 is my least favourite gen. Played it the least. I mean, arguably the coolest game to play because you have 2 generations. But in terms of Pokemon that it released, I think it's the worst. I think the designs are really boring. And I'm going to get a lot of hate for this, but comment down below what your favourite Gen 2 Pokemon is and if you're a big Gen 2 lover. Because honestly, couldn't care less. Saying that, I do like some. This isn't going to be me shitting on all of Gen 2, but I just wanted to say that first because a lot of these are shitters. And looking at these, I'm going to pick my favourite as Miltank because it's getting used by a gym leader. Anything that gets used by a gym leader immediately has its cool factor up because they've just got an aura about them. And yeah, Miltank is a tough adversary. It's so tough. Especially with like Milk Drink. Like you get it all the way down and then it just Milk Drinks and then it just heals back up. Like, oh, it's so annoying. Right, fire types. I think now we can think about it a bit more cleverly, smartly. Be smart with it. We know that certain Pokemon have other types, like the Houndoom, for example, Dark and Fire. And I think I'm going to save that for the Dark typing. I'm going to put Magcargo in the first slot. Magcargo or Typhlosion. Now we'll go Magcargo in there because we've got the starter typing, and we can have him for that. Who knows? We might pick a different one. Water types. This is tough. Because again, some of these are just boring. Like Quillfish, Corsola, Remoraid, Octillery, Chinchou, Marill, Zoo. They're all so boring or not cool. I love cool Pokemon. You know, I'm not a cute lover. You'll notice a lot of these are final evolved forms with like blades or muscles or like big shields or whatever. Something cool, something fully evolved. I'm a big fan of. Whereas a lot of the Gen 2, I think Gen 2 to 4 have a lot of baby Pokemon. Stuff like Azumarill or Igglybuff. It's just, they're just so stupid looking. And they're weak as well. They're so weak. You always have to like train them up. It's just too much, man. I'm actually going to pick Mantine for this. This is a rogue pick, but I think I prefer. I think I did a Nuzlocke where I had a Mantine, which was like a region specific to that Fire Red Nuzlocke game, and it was like electric poison, and it really made me love Mantine. I know it's not the same type, but the design's cool. Plus, I got a friend who says his newly born daughter loves manta rays, so you know, shout out to him and her. Grass types. Let's see what we can do. I'm going to give some love to Meganium, man. I mean, I love the dinosaur design with the flowers. It just looks so rad. Plus, everyone hates Meganium, so give it some love. I love it. Electric types. I don't think this is tough, really, because, like, Ampharos just wins it. Although yeah, Ampharos wins it. Because, again, Elekid's cool. I love Elekid's design, but he's just so weak. So weak. And then Raikou, we've got another category for the legendaries, so maybe it will make the cut. I don't know. Let's go to Ice type. Oh, I hate it. Lippin hates Smoochum. If there's one Pokemon that I'd love to just like remove from all of Pokemon, it'd be Smoochum. I think it's stupid looking. It evolves into Shinx. Shinx is fine. You didn't have to give it a pre-evolution. Just get rid of it. Like, it just looks awful. It looks terrible. Like, I just want to, like, you know, just want to squash it and kick it. I don't know. Get rid of it. Gen 2 has a weird thing of, like, producing Pokemon that either haven't fully evolved or later then get a pre-evolution and an evolution. Like, for example, Swinub and Piloswine. I had no idea that Mamoswine was so much later. I thought they all came together. So what a letdown it would be if you'd raised your Swinub to be such a high level, because I think it's really high. I think it's like 40 something to evolve it, which is ridiculous. But Piloswine, he's a bit bulky, but like, how disappointed would you be if you got him and you're like, oh, nothing further. That's it. That's all you get. I'd be gutted. I think I gotta pick Sneasel here, because Sneasel's just like cool. Weavile is better, but that comes later. So anyway, we'll move on. Oh, it's gotta be Heracross. Heracross is rad. Look at his little horn. Shout out to my friend Casey. She loves bugs. She's a bug gal, and Heracross is, I think, the coolest bug about. Like, he's just so rad. All right, poison types. Again, nice easy pick. These guys all suck, but Crobat's elite. I'll have no other opinions on this. Unless you want to comment, then yeah, comment down below and prove me wrong. Rock types, ground types. Who do we want in our ground type pick? You know what? I'm putting Donphan in there. Donphan, weirdly, so useful. Because I think if you give it like rapid spin, it can just build up that speed unexpectedly, and then it gets access to Earthquake, which, if you're quick with Earthquake, you just decimate. And I think it has Sturdy as well. So yeah, it's overall pretty good. Right, flying types. Okay, so we've picked Mantine, we've picked Crobat. I'm actually going to pick Lugia for this. I know, Rogue Pull for a legendary. But I think of all of them, Lugia, objectively the coolest. People might argue for Ho-Oh, but I'm not a fan. Not a fan at all. Psychic types. See, we could do him for Psychic here, but I think we have to go Espeon, right? Like, I think Espeon and Umbreon are the top most favorited evolutions, I believe. I'm not gonna fact check that. I'm making it up. I'm just lying. What are we doing for bugs? What's bugs saying? Oh, I mean, we have to go Sizzle, right? Like, it looks, you know, Scyther above, Scizor underneath. It's just poetic at this point. I mean, Scizor is rad. Like, we have to give credit where credit's due. Scizor is rad. So, yep, easy pick. Move on to rock types. Oh, I forgot Macargo's rock and fire. That's good to know. But we've got to give it to T-Tar. Pseudo legendary. He gets it. He wins that every day of the week. Right, ghost types. Nice and easy pick. Mischievous. I like Mischievous, so it works out. And same for Kingdra. I'm a fan of Kingdra, so it's just a happy little accident. Dark types. Now, again, like I said, most people love Umbreon, but we promised this slot to Houndoom because Houndoom is so cool. Steel types next. And then we've done Scizor, so we can keep him out of this slot safely free. And we've got to go Steelix. See, the difference I found with Steelix and Onix is I don't like Onix because his head is the same size as his body. I mean, where is his pick? Rock. Yeah, like, look, his head's too small. His head needs to be bigger. Like, Steelix's head being bigger is so cool. He's got the little spikes on his body as well. I just think that's so much cooler in design. Because you could just picture his mouth opening wide and just like chomping you up or coming up from the ground. He feels more like a ground snake, which he's meant to be. Anyway, moving on to Fairy. Kick it, kick it, kick it. 3 kickable Pokemon in a row. Like, you're telling me you couldn't... Look at that. Look at that little face. You're telling me... Oh. You're telling me you couldn't kick this guy or this guy or this guy and they wouldn't just go flying? No? Is it just me? Or... I mean, Marill kind of sneaks in there as well. He's ball-shaped. Why make it ball-shaped if it's not meant to be treated like a ball? But yeah, what's my pick going to be? I'm going to pick Granbull. I hate Snubbull, but Granbull over Azumarill. If Azumarill wasn't as egg-shaped, I'd pick it. Because it's a great typing. It's got huge power as well. But Granbull, I think, it just looks cool. It looks metal, you know? Right, so we are on to the starters next. So we have got Meganium, so now we could do any of the others. Now, honestly, the only thing that I like about the Totodile Feraligatr line is the back sprite. Go look it up. It's great. The back sprite for Feraligatr would live rent-free and here forever. Now, I've been thinking about this for a while, actually. Because like I said before, I don't like cute Pokemon. They just don't really interest me. I like badass, I like cool, I like metal, there's a theme going on. But honestly, I might have to do my first proper cute pick in Cyndaquil. Typhlosion is cool with its collar of flames, but I think it doesn't, if it had something else, it would be cooler. Hisuian Typhlosion, that's cool. Because it's like a spectral, like, flames. But just like a regular dude, it's just, eh. But Cyndaquil, I think we have to give it. Like, he's just so adorable. With his little, like, eye and it's so cute. Gimmick form. This is tough. This one's tough. Because I love Mega Ampharos. And I love Mega Houndoom. Mega Sizzle's cool. I don't like Mega Heracross. I hated what they did to him. They could have made him cooler. They changed him into a different beetle. No, we won't talk about it. I think I have to give it to Mega Houndoom in honor of my fiance. She loves Mega Houndoom. He's rad. He's rad looking. He's metal. He's scary. Looks like a hound from hell. Like, truly, say less. And then Legend. We've got Lugia. We know we've got Lugia. I think we're actually going to swap it. I thinking about it, looking at Raikou with the other legends, I just think that it just doesn't hold up. I think Lugia can go in that slot, and I think we can free up this slot for a flying type. I'm going to give it to Gligar. I'm a big fan of Gliscor, and I used to hate Gligar. He just looks too derpy, but I think we got to give it to him. Another cute pick. Look at me, immediately going back on what I've said. It's crazy. Let's move on. starting off this generation, we've got a few good picks. We've got Slakoth, Vigoroth Slacking. We've got Exploud. We've got Kecleon. We've got Swablu. I think I'm going to give it to Zangoose. Is anybody watching the anime? I think Zangoose was the Team Rocket pick. I think it's cool. I love his... It's a real shame that he didn't get an evolution, because I think they could do so much with him. But I just like his design. I think he's cool. Like, he's just got some claws, and he's got this cool, like, streaks. It's just really good design. Fire types. I got to give the fire type to Torkoal. And you might be thinking, but Blaziken's there, but Camerup's there. Blaziken's fire and fighting? Yeah, firefighting. He can take that. But Torkoal's just a fire type, and he's cool. He's really tanky as well. Right, water types. Now we're cooking. Look at this set. Like, you got Milotic, you got Wailord, you got Sharpedo, you got Bellaput, you got Swampert, you got Kyogre. You know, like, what are we doing here, man? There's one thing you should know about me. I have at least 10 absolute favorite Pokemon that is undoubtedly forever has been my favorite. And in that list is Swampert. Or Mudkip. The Mudkip line entirely. Because Mudkip's cute, Swampert's like a cool, almost like a... It's like a child, like a kid, a teenager, and an adult. And it, like, they do the designs very well. And Swampert's just like... all fours, got little things coming out of its cheeks, got little... Grass types. Again, Gen 2 just has my favourite Pokemon. Breloom. He's just so good. If you can get him to have Mach Punch, because he has excellent moves, because he's quick and he's got an insanely high attack stat. He's great. Give him Mach Punch, give him Sky Uppercut, give him Seed Bomb. I think the other one is Spore. Of course, he gets Spore. Of course he does. Spore's great. One of the very few moves that guarantees to put them to sleep with 100% accuracy. And it's amazing. Because you just quicker, they're asleep now. I've beat many battles with just a Breloom putting things to sleep. Nice, moving on to electric types. So, Plus and Minun can be thrown straight in the trash. Hate them. They are useless, their ability is useless, and they look dumb. They are dumb Pikachu clones, and I'm not for it. We're picking Manectric, and we're moving on. Ice types. Right. I mean we gotta pick the legend himself, Regice. Terrifying to come up against in a Nuzlocke, because you know he's going to explode on you. Because I think he learns Explode or Self-Destruct, one of those moves, very early. So the risk is if you find him, he's just going to immediately kill himself. It is funny, because it's just like coming face to face with a nuclear warhead and be like, oh, will he? Won't he? Will he? Won't he? Oh, he does all the time. He just does it. Fighting types, boom. Here we put Blaziken in. Don't worry, Blaziken Glazers, he's there. Poison type. Because I think normally I'm a Dustox lover, but I think for nostalgia, I have to give it to Seviper. Anybody who watched the Pokemon anime, Seviper was just MVP, I think. So much personality. Right, move on to ground types, which again is another tough pick because we've got Swampert, we've got Flygon, we've got Claydol, we've got Groudon. I recently realised that Groudon only a ground type, which, shoot me for not knowing. He's red. Red equals fire. What are we doing here? Give him a fire type. Although I suppose he would be quad weak to Kyogre, which then would make him weaker. Anyway, it just blew my mind, honestly. Okay, Flygon's Dragon Ground. Claydol is Psychic Ground. So I think we've got more Dragon types than we have good Psychic types. So I'm going to put Flygon because he's a pseudo-legendary. He's got a cool design. He's got a cool name, and he's a great type. So, yeah. See, Flying types and Dragon types is where we're going to hit this roadblock of decision. Okay. This is a tough one because Rayquaza, Salamence, and then Altaria, all excellent picks. You'll see some picks on here like Shadow Lugia, which I don't believe are from certain games, or if they are, I'm not familiar with them. But I'm going to ignore them because they're not things that I personally have any favourite connection towards, and I don't want to unjustly pick it based on just this online website, because some things might be from the website, some things might be from somewhere. But if you know where Shadow Lugia is from, comment down below and let me know. I'd love to find out. Now we have to take into consideration again, what do they do as their type? Do they work well as a flying type? You know, this is what the deciding factor comes down to. Are they cool? Do they look badass? Can I kick them very far? All good questions. And I think for flying, I think I have to go Altaria, because it is like a ball of clouds, and I think that's really cool. Yeah, I'm happy with that. We're sticking with that. Psychic, oh, this is just harsh, man. Because there are so many good psychic types here. I always forget that these are psychic fighting. That's crazy. Right, so we've got Psychic Fairy. We've got fighting psychic. I don't actually think they make the cut, to be honest. We might do Claydol, honestly, because we've done ground and Claydol doesn't get another chance to shine. So yeah, I think other mons get better chances, but I think Claydol needs to get this, you know? Needs to have this. Bug types, and all of these guys suck, bar Dustox and maybe Shedinja, but we're going Dustox. Again, we didn't get to pick him in the poison types, so we'll pick him on the bug type. He gets his comeuppance. Rock types. This is tough. This is tough. I think we got to go Aggron, because objectively Aggron is the coolest looking one of the set. Like, Regirock's fine, but I just don't think he's as cool. Credilli's cool. Nosepass, Solrock, Lunatone, they're all cool designs, but like Aggron is badass. Like, he's metal literally as fuck. He's got horns. He's looks like a beast. Literally a beast. What about ghosts? How are we looking for this? I'm a big lover of ghost types. Ghost types are honestly my all-time favorite typing, just because I think all the designs are really cool. I love undead stuff, so ghosts just fit into that category easily. I think we're going to go Dusclops. Give him an Eviolite. He's got great bulk. He's got great attack. Say less. Brill. Okay, so now we're on to dragons. Now we've got Flygon, we've got Altaria. We don't need to worry about those. We've then got Salamence, Rayquaza, Latios, and Latias. But again, I think these three can be taken on the Legends category. So we've got to give it to Salamence, because he's just awesome. Great pseudo-legendary. You know, I think Gen 2, 3, 4, and 5 have amazing pseudo-legendaries, because they just have like quite a few of them. Yeah, I mean, Tyranitar, Salamence, Flygon, Garchomp. Oof. Woo-wee. So good. Dark types. Okay. Lots of good dark types. I won't lie to you. Oh my god, I didn't realize some of these were dark types. Did not realize that Crawdon and Shiftry were dark types. That's wild. Now, here's where some controversy is going to be talked about, because Absol is, I think, for me, the epitome of dark type Pokemon, but I think it gets so much love. Everyone loves Absol. It's cool. It is cool. Don't get me wrong, but I think it gets too much love. Everyone loves it. So I actually really love Sharpedo, because I've used him so many times in battles. It's a shark head. My fiance, she loves sharks, so I have to pick it, you know, for her, guys. Nice. Okay, so now we've got Aggron. Mawil's cool, but I think Mega Mawil's better. Registeel, my goat, but similarly to other ones in this generation, some just don't make the cut. And I think Metagross has to take it, because we couldn't get him in Psychic, and I cannot not put Metagross in here. Again, another good pseudo-legendary. Like, he's just so good. Although Beldum's catch rate lets him down so much, because that thing is impossible to catch. Honestly, it's like the lowest catch rate, I think, of all of the Pokemon. All of the Pokemons. The Pocket Monsters. The Fairy types, we're going Gardevoir. Need I say less. Starter types. Now, I think, personally, we've got 2 of the 3 starters. And Gen 3 has an amazing starter lineup. Like, all 3 of the generations, all 3 of the evolutions of each starter are so good. The designs are awesome. It really fits with the theme. They don't change up the design as much. I mean, Marshtomp being a slightly lighter color, like a putridy green, it kind of upsets me a little bit. I get why he is, because he's, you know, from a swamp and it's a swampy green, but then they go back to the blue. If Swampert was like the same color, it would make sense, but then they just sort of go back and it does kind of let it down. But I think we got to give it to Sceptile. Got to complete the trifecta. I don't think I have picked all of the starters as my favorites in any other generation, so it says a lot about Gen 3. Right, moving on to gimmick forms. These are some of the best megas and gimmick forms I've ever seen. Hands down throughout every other generation. These are the coolest. But I got to give it to my boy Swampert. He very much reminds me of, like, if you guys are a fan of like the Batman DC mythos, Bane, when he goes from being like a scrawny guy, injects all the venom into him, and then he becomes beefy. Like, that's how I feel it happens to Swampert. Just feels like he's just gone and just tensed a little bit, and he's just sort of like made himself bigger. Like how frogs have the little throat thing. Well, I don't know technical terms. I'm not smart. But anyway, legends. Let's move on. Great, some great legendaries. Again, Gen 3 nailed its designs. It's got so many good options. I honestly have to go Rayquaza. This is probably the only pick that I'm doing, which is exactly what everyone's going to be thinking. You know, Rayquaza is the, I think, most picked Pokemon for a reason. He's great. He's awesome. Nice. Now moving on to two of my favorite generations. You thought I glazed Gen 3. I'm going to be glazing Gen 4 and 5. Oh, so much. So let's start with the normal types, because to be honest, Gen 4 and 5 is what I grew up with as a kid watching growing up. So it makes sense for me to love it the most. It's where my nostalgia is tied to. And it is just the most like interactive and most personality, I think, from Pokemon. And the designs and the games are great. Oh, it's just peak. Honestly, I think Pokemon peaked at 4 and 5. 6 onwards, it kind of goes downhill. 6 brought megas, but 6 has its own problems. We'll get to that in the next video. But yeah, for normal types, I think I'm gonna have to go Staraptor. Staraptor's just like Ash has one in the anime, and it's cool, and it's like all of the generations are cool. Starly's cute. Staravia is like getting there, and then Staraptor just badass. I'm taking him to the Elite Four any day of the week. Moving on to fire types, we've got some good ones. Chimchar and the Chimchar line used to be my go-to pick. I used to be a fire type guy through and through, apart from Gen 1. But yeah, I used to only exclusively pick fire types, and you know, Infernape, Monferno, and Chimchar used to be rife. So I used to own, so I mean, I still do, but I used to play Pokemon Diamond and Pokemon Black growing up. So yeah, replay these a lot. Monferno, these guys get access to fighting types, so I think, to be fair, we'll give it to Magmortar, because he's never going to show up again. He needs to get that love, and he's honestly so sick. It's a special fighting type, which I think it's fighting and dark type moves, which just so sick. Right, water types now. I think this is tough. I think I'm gonna have to give it to Empoleon. I've now just realised as well that I'm definitely gonna give all of the starters of Gen 4 a slot. So I'm completely lying to you earlier when I said Gen 3 was the only one. Gen 4, maybe even Gen 5. Honestly, just ignore what I've said up until this point, but not everything. Oh my god. Stop ignoring it. Remember it. What have I done? It's just it's cynical. It's like a little bit of comedy for you guys. Moving on to grass types. Got some good picks. Hate that this gets a pre-evolution and an evolution. Roserade is objectively cool, and I think it's really fun design. Love the hair on it, love the different colours, love the little cape. Bombasnow, again, a really cool design. Shaman's cool. Torterra, we're going to save Torterra and the Turtwig line. You know why? Because he's the GOAT. But here we've got to go for Carnivine. Similar to Magmortar, he's never coming up again. We've got to give him some love. You know, James had a Carnivine in the anime, and you just love him, man. He's just so like lovable. Electric types. This it was a tough one because there's two in here that I think are so sick. One of them unfortunately doesn't make the cut, and unfortunately Luxray makes the cut. And Electivire, as cool as his design is, I'm picking Luxray. I think that one more time out of 10 than I am Electivire. Fun fact, both, I believe, physical electric types, which is very rare. Electric tends to be special, but both of them are physical electric types. So do that info if you will. Right, ice types. I've been a big Abomasnow lover for ages, and I've also been a big Mamoswine lover. And I think I played Pokemon Infinite Fusion a couple of years back, and Mamoswine being paired with other stuff just makes things unbeatable because it's so tanky. The difference I think between Abomasnow and Mamoswine is Abomasnow is so weak to fire. Being grass and ice quad weak, like you just get slapped hard by any fire type. Luckily in Gen 4 there are very little fire types. I think if you don't pick Chimchar, the only other fire type you get access to in the late game, I think, is Ponyta. And I think that's it. I don't think there's any other fire types. I could be wrong. Oh, Rotom Oven, of course you do. So yeah, Rotom Oven. But again, I think that's Platinum exclusive. I don't know. But yeah, we're picking Mamoswine. He's cool. Ground and Ice type is just great. Right? Some great picks. This was a tough one, but I think here's where the sort of finicky methodicalness and like shifting stuff around can get us all of what we want. Because here we have to pick Infernape, which is quite nice that we've got the two firefighting starters beneath each other. And then with Poison, again, I love the badass vibes. Toxicroak, he's just awesome. I'm always trying to get one. Krogunk, again, Brock had one in the anime, and all my homies know what he was like. Ground types. So here we've got some great picks. Got Torterra. Don't worry about it. He's coming later. Just chill. We've got some other great types. We've got Garchomp, of course. We've got Mamoswine, but we've already picked him. Get out of here, man. We've got Gliscor. Honestly, I think I just have to go with Gliscor, because he's a great ground type. He is also a flying type, so we'll see what flying type offers. We might be able to swap him out, but I think Gliscor takes it for me. Give this guy a Toxic Orb with I think it's Poison Heal. He is never leaving the battlefield. He is super bulky. He's got quad weak to ice, but if you just don't have an ice move, he's great. He's quick as well, so nothing's taking him out easily. Flying types. Okay, we've got Staravia, we've got Gliscor, Togekiss, Drifblim, Honchkrow, all good picks. Now, if my memory serves me right, we can get a few of these in other slots. Because we've got Dark, we've got Ghost, we've got Fairy. So I think what we're going to do... I think there's not many Dark and Fairy, so I think we're going to go Drifblim for the flying type. Because I think Ghosts... Yeah, there's better Ghost types. Psychic types, we've got to go with Glade. We've got to pair Glade and Gardevoir. They just have to. So I didn't realise that Glade comes in the generation after. Fun fact for you. Not in Gen 3. Oh, bugs. Gen 4 really did just drop the ball with bug types, didn't they? Like, what are we doing, Pokemon? You know? What are we doing? Kricketune. Kricketune, he's just a little dapper gentleman with a mustache. He's just chilling. Like, what is he doing here? He needs to go have some tea and some biscuits and an afternoon lunch. He looks cool. He's got a cool little like cry as well. Go research the Kricketune like cry. It's gonna put a smile on your face. Where were we? So we picked Kricketune because he's a little gent. He's a little gentleman with a little mustache. Rock types. Rock types. I think what I'm gonna do is go for Bastiodon, because I think he looks really he looks like a shield. He looks like he'd be good at defending, you know. Ghost types, boom, another one on my top tier. Miss Magius, so good. Or Miss Magus. Right, dragon types. We gotta go flipping Garchomp. Like, it's obvious. We have to. Another good pseudo legendary, 2 in a row. Dark types. Now, these are some good dark types. I didn't know actually Stunky was dark. Honchkrow, Stunky, Drapion, Weavile, all great types, but they just don't match up to Darkrai. Like, Darkrai's just elite, man. Like, is he a legendary? Yeah, he does kind of legendary. I think he's mythical technically, but they don't differentiate. Right, steel types. Boom. We got the lad out. Who was it that I missed in here? Oh, it was that guy, wasn't it? Toxicroak. Yeah, all of the steel types, fighting types are out. Lucario, we gotta pick him. We gotta pick him. I mean, all the other choices that we've gone for. So, Lucario's a great fighting steel type. Fairy, Togekiss takes it any day of the week. Got, what is it? Serene Grace, which is an ability where if you have a move that doesn't affect it, increases the chances of the effect happening. So you can effectively be a flinching machine with a Togekiss. Especially if you give him like a King's Rock, I believe it is. Man, this guy is just so obnoxious. He just like spams stuff at you. He outspeeds and he's going to flinch you and he's going to whittle you down. Oh, so good. Starters, boom, Torterra. And finally get the recognition that I told you he would get. You just have to wait. Just be patient, okay? Anyway, going on to gimmick forms. This is tough because there's a few good gimmick forms in here. I think I'm going to have to give it to Lucario. He's just cool. This is what I mean. Like this is what evolutions and megas should be. Taking the source material, make it badass, make it plus, make it extra. Just give it something, you know? So legend, I think the best legend for me is actually Giratina Origin form. Just because he's like so rad in the distortion zone as well. Oof. Man, the lore behind Giratina with his wings look so sick, made of like shadows. Woo-wee, they are good. Right, well, moving on to the last, but very not least, Gen 5. Starting off strong. They got some good normal types, and again, this is the weird little. I don't know what these bottom ones are. Obviously, you got Meloetta, but I don't know what the rest of these are. I'm convinced these just aren't things. They've just made them up. But for normal types, we're going to go Stoutland, just because he's a big lad. Big lad, and that's it. He's just a big lad. Now, I remember doing this before, and Gen 5 was really honestly the toughest. I had to do a lot of people who didn't make the cut, because there's so many good types in Gen 5. They really excelled with their like art design in this generation, because the concepts and ideas for Pokemon are just insanely cool. Right, for fire, we've got Emboar, we've got Simisear, we've got Darmanitan, we've got Chandelure, we've got Volcarona, we've got Reshiram. We've got so many good types, so many good mons. But I think the rest of them, so he gets fighting, he's fire, he gets ghost, he gets dragon, and he gets bug. I think over the two that are just pure fire types, I prefer Darmanitan, you know? I think Simisear is cool, but Darmanitan, you just sort of have to put work into, you know? You get a Pansear for free, depending on what starter you pick. But with Darumaka, you really have to put the work in. And when you do, he is so worth it. Going for water types next, this is, again, we've got some good, Simipour, we've got Seismitoad, we've got Samurott, we've got Caracosta, we've got Frillish, Jellicent. Ooh-wee, so many good types. I think my favourite of the water types is going to have to be Samurott. Oh, that's nice. We've got the three water starters in a row, which is quite nice to see. Although none of the grass starters, but it might change. Who knows? Grass types, we've got a good few. So bug and grass, pure. I think dragon grass, pure grass, grass and fairy, grass poison, grass and steel. I think we've got a lot of steel types actually, and I think we can get superior in the starters category. We can get that in the fairy, we can get that in the bug, we can get that in the poison, but I think we've got a lot of steel types that we just won't be able to pick if we lock ourselves out of Ferrothorn. So I'm going to go Ferrothorn. I think he's one of the slowest, I think other than Shuckle, I think one of the slowest Pokemon of all time. Definitely really slow, because he learns Gyro Ball, which is very good for him, because it does more damage the slower you are. All right, moving on to electric, we're picking Galvantula. Galvantula and Joltik have been my favourites for a very long time. The other ones are great: Electros, Zebstrika, Zekrom, Thundurus, whoever these guys are. Stunfisk even, Emolga even, great. But just this big spider with cool electricity, it's a rad design. You gotta love it. The shiny is also really fun because it takes the blue accents and makes them darker and gives like a vibrant yellow. We won't go into shinies because that's a whole other video. Ice types, honestly, Ice types is where Gen 5 lets itself down. Because these guys all suck ass. Apart from these three. These three legends at the end, amazing. So, as that's the case, we're going to go for Kyurem Black. Because, really, honestly, he's the most badass of the three. He gives kaiju vibes. Very like Godzilla, very like mutated monster, which is dope. Right, on to fighting types. And unfortunately, Emboar didn't make the fire cut. He now doesn't make the fighting cut because this slot goes to Conkeldurr. He's the big lad that's always had a little place in my heart. So we're picking him. Poison. I like as well, just going back to these guys, I love the Timber evolution line where they like flip and like hold the items. I think Timber does a little kick flip in the air. And Gurdurr, I think, flips as well. I don't know if Conkeldurr does. I think he just sort of stands there. But yeah, this guy's such a good attacker. He's got Guts, which ups his attack if he's suffering. So you give him a Flamor, man, this guy just does ungodly amounts of damage. He is very slow, but he can also take hits, so it's fine. Although he does look so strange without his concrete pillars. If you search online like a Conkeldurr sprite without them, it just looks like a big guy, like a big human being, which is very strange. He very, very much needs the concrete pillars. Right, onto poison types. Amoonguss. Amoonguss is great because it learns Spore. And it's a cool design, it's very bulky, very good health. But I think I've learned to appreciate Scolipede more. It's a very cool type. And I love the middle evolution because it reminds me of like old Black Ops days with the little like meatballs and like zombies. Ah, so good. Only real gamers know what I'm talking about. Ground types. This lineup, you got Excadrill, Seismitoad, Crocodile, Landorus, and then Golurk and Stunfisk. Oh, so good. Again, I think we've got some steel types out there. I think we've got some tough steel choices. So I think the best one for here might be Excadrill. We can come back. We've got time. This isn't set in stone. We want to flying because flying, they've got some cool designs, but I think arguably the best one has to be Archeops. Insanely good fossil type Pokemon. So good with Nuzlocke as well. Psychic types, again, not the best lineup. I know a friend of mine, his favourite is Gothitelle or the Gothita line. It's great. I do like it. It's a strong psychic type, but my heart goes out to Reuniclus. He just looks very like gelatinous cube looking. You know, either he'd be very soft and cuddly or he would like melt you if you tried to touch him. So either way, he wins. You know, he's rad or he's cute. Or both. Right, moving on to bug types. We have some choices here. Now, we've got Volcarona, which we could have here. We've got Crustle. We've got Escavalier. We've got Levani. All great picks. Now, for my fiance, I have to put Crustle here. I do love Crustle, but one of her favourite mons is Dwebble. I even drew her a Dwebble picture the other day, testing out some pens for my art. So, yeah, she loves it. She loves Dwebble. I've just ruined the page now, which kind of sucks. But, yeah. So I'm going to put Crustle in here, and then we can always move him if need be. He can go in the rock area, which I think I am going to put him in rock, because then what we can do here is we can take another one out of steel. We can go Escavalier. Again, similar to Mega Beedrill, he's got lances, and he looks rad with his plumed helmet. So sick. Ghost types, we have got some really good choices. I love Cofagrigus. I love his animation, the sprite animation, where it's the coffin is shut, and then all of a sudden, like the faceplate moves up and the arms come out. Sort of like, oh, sort of scares you. But I think Chandelure deserves the ghost top spot here. He's in the Elite Four for a reason. I think Cofagrigus is too, actually, but he's amazing. I love the shiny. Again, going back to shinies. I love his shiny because the purple, like, ghostly flame turns into, like, a red flame. And he just gets, like, almost gets more spooky which is crazy to even like think about. But yeah, I love his vibe. Moving on to dragons. This is tough because we've got two great pseudo legendaries. Now I love the Hydreigon line and I love the Haxorus line. And for me, it comes down to one thing. Take the evolution line as a whole rather than just the individual, because Haxorus and Hydreigon are, I think, for me, equally as cool. Great design. They both look badass. They both look metal. But what do the others give? You know, what does Dino, Zwelos, Axew, Fraxure, what do they give? I think the Axew line gives more. You know, you got this little blade on the back of his head, little tusks. They're awesome. They look so He looks cute, but also kind of a bit dangerous. Dino's cool. He looks really cute. He looks like hidden, a little bit shy. You know, what's he up to? And he's got the cool little body. The second evolution. Look at Fraxure, man. He's got the armor plating starts to appear. The blades widen, almost like this, like cutter. Like he could do damage with those things. Plus the color palette is just gorgeous. And then Zwelos, it's fine. It's just like two dinos. It's very much the Diglett and Dugtrio treatment. Just like, oh, what do we do? What do we do? Oh, just make it more. And then Hydreigon obviously has the three, but it opens up. It looks awesome. If this one had maybe, you know, Zwelos had the plumes on its head opened up a little bit, might give it some more points. But you know, with Fraxure, you've just got so many cool points. He looks like he's ready for action. And then Haxorus with these like armor plating all down his back, the big like scythe like blades on his mouth. They're rad. It's gotta be. Dark types. Now, dark types, I think we're gonna have to go for Hydreigon or Crocodile. Crocodile does carry you through the game. I think we've got to go for the pseudo legendary. We just have to, right? Surely. Okay, and then steel types. So here we can probably change some things around, honestly, because we've got Excadrill and we've got Escavalier. So what we could do is we could change ground to Crocodile, then steel to Excadrill. It's a shame to let Bishop go, especially because we could also have him in fighting. Right? Is he fighting? No, he's still dark, isn't he? Yeah, we can't sub him out for Hydreigon and we can't sub him out for Excadrill. He's great. He's got a good fun typing. I think he's quad weak to fighting. But he's got a good typing. I think Excadrill has to have it. Excadrill is just amazing. Like, he's just such a cool... Drill was great as well. Drill was a great pick to have early on. Not a fan of Excadrill's Mega, but hey, you know, he can't win them all, you know? Fairy types, it's kind of an easy pick. We just go for the fully evolved form. Cottony's fine, but Whimsicott's cooler. Looks like a giant cloud. It looks so soft, like a great hugger. Favorite starter? This slot has to go to Superior because, unfortunately, the grass pick was tied up with Ferrothorn, and the fire pick was picked up with Darmanitan. Unfortunately, Emboar doesn't make the cut, but Superior... He's just elegant. He's got the little arms. He gets access to dragon type moves. Because is he in here? No, he just gets access to dragon type moves. Yeah, that's it. But Superior has an amazing hidden ability called Contrary, which very few Pokemon have. And what it means is if any stats are afflicted to it, they get reversed. So if your opponent reduces your attack, it actually buffs the attack, but then vice versa. So if you buff your own attack, it reduces. So as it's trade-off, but most of the time people are going to try and weaken you, thus buffing you instead. Right, moving on to the final two, and then what we'll do is end it on the finals of on the far right column. So gimmick form, there is a few good ones and a few bad ones. Honestly, I think from here onwards, the gimmicks are just not really part of the mainline games. They probably are. Again, get down in the comments if you think that I'm missing some very obvious stuff, but I don't recognize them, and thus they don't exist. They're not real. That's how it goes. My favorite of these, I think it was originally Chandelure, but I think it takes away too much of what makes Chandelure great. I think Scrafty is actually the best Mega, because compared to its normal form, I love the the subtle change in design, almost like it's going through, it goes into little mischievous, then it goes into a bit punk, then it goes into edgy, it's just really cool, especially with its hands in its pockets as well. It's just like oozes aura. Right, and favorite legendary, this is a tough one honestly, because they have such good legendaries in Gen 5, but I think my favorite has to go to Zekrom. Reshiram is great. I grew up playing Pokemon Black, and Reshiram was the box art, and his tail glows red, and it's really cool. Being a fire dragon type, it just kind of bores me. Dragon electric type, on the other hand, that is rad. So yeah, that's why he has to get this slot. So that is all 5 gens done. We'll look back from the beginning. We'll reflect on some choices we've made. See if we want to, in life we can always take things back if we want to. Nothing's ever final, not really. That's the biggest lie I think I've ever said. But in this case, we get to pick. So, have a little peruse. See if you agree. Let me know with which ones you do agree with, which ones you don't agree with. I'd love to have a discussion about it in the comments. And I want to know what your favorite Pokemon are. But on that note, we will end on the favorites of the rows. So Gen 1 favorite of the favorites I've picked. Going to be tough. But I think based on the hat, we have to go for Gengar. We just have to, right? We can't not. Gen 2, there is a very clear winner here for me. And I think that's Mega Houndoom. Again, for my fiance, we've got to do it. Gen 3, favorites of the favorites. Again, you see it coming. It's Mega Swampert. These Megas I think are amazing. Gengar Mega, unfortunately, is really cool. I just prefer the shiny version of it, and Beedrill wins that. Right, Gen 4 starter. Now we're getting a bit tougher, okay? This is where it really is tough. But of these guys, who is my categorical favorite? Who am I picking above all else? If I get the chance to, they're immediately being put on my team. Honestly, this is tough. I want to know what your guys' favorite Gen 4 mon is. I think my favorite of favorites, my champion of champions, has to be Gliscor. I love the bat design. I love the scorpion design. I think he's got access to great moves. He's really tanky, and he just looks sick. And finally on to Gen 5, yet another one that we have to struggle with. But I think, honestly, we all know who I'm picking here. It's the fan favourite. It's the fiance favourite. And it's my favourite. Crustal's taking the pick. So there we are. There we have it. I hope you guys have enjoyed watching. If you enjoyed, leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe even. That's great. I just said that. That's a crazy idea. But if you want to see more, I'm trying to post more. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and see you down in the comments. Ciao. I need to move it over a little. Over here a little bit. Falling backwards. Whoa! I don't know. We'll figure something out.